You get to this page right here, but in a couple days, this page is going live. You can actually pre-enroll for 9 full worship leader sessions starting in October, the first week of October. It will be live video, live podcast. It will be sessions, seminars with me, online, live, and recorded. So if you're watching this after this, but today I'm just going to give you a little bit of the first week. So each day this week, over the next couple weeks, I'm going to give you just a little bit from each section. So this is the God-inspired circle. If you're trying to build a worship team, if you're trying to build a worship ministry, and you're getting to the point where you're feeling like you need just a little more help or just a little refocus, I mean, 2020 just kind of like, bam, just punched us in the gut, basically. But if you're feeling like you really want to get back to growing your worship team, I've got all of these charts will be in the actual Worship Leadership Foundations. But there are 3 things. You've got to actually vision. I mean, the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. So where as a worship leader, you've always got to be seeing the bigger vision. Now, it's easy for me because I'm a big vision guy. I'm a big picture guy. I like to look at the big picture of things. I see this big picture and I'm just like, this is all going to happen. I've been like that since the very beginning of my ministry. I've always just really seen these big, huge visions, usually much bigger than I could ever attain, and that's okay. But part of it is envisioning and then measuring and growing, and it goes around in a circle, okay? So first of all, envision is to form a mental picture of something, typically something that may occur or be possible in the future. So you're going to, first of all, have a vision for your worship team. Have something in your mind and then communicate that to people. But it doesn't matter if it's like this massive thing. You just want to communicate growth and vision to your church, to your worship team members, to new people coming in. And that'll all tie into building more people, getting more people involved in your worship ministry. So second of all, measure this. How do we measure? To assess the effect or quality of something often against a standard. So you're going to measure your growth. You have a standard, you're measuring, are you growing? Are you making it? Or let's say you had this big vision for a new stage. Do you have the stage? I mean, a lot of this stuff is pretty easy to measure. You can just kind of look at it and go, well, did I do it? I will journal and I will look back to 2 years ago or 1 year ago, and I will realize that I am actually doing what I wrote in my journal 2 years ago or 3 years ago, sometimes 20 years ago. But in worship ministry, you're going to have these many visions, these many plans, and then you're going to measure these plans, and then you're going to grow. So grow is the third one. To produce something as part of a natural process or allow it to be produced, to move from one condition to another, especially gradually. Okay, so you have a vision for a new stage, or you have a vision for a better live stream, or you have a vision for a bigger band or rotating teams and all the things that we're going to talk about in the foundations of worship leadership. You have a vision for all those things, and then you're measuring what's going on, and you're gradually going to grow into that. So this may happen over 2 years. You may look back and say, yeah, I always wanted to have 3 bands rotating. And 2 years later, you're going to look back and be like, I did it. Nothing in my worship ministry came easy other than just play. For me, it was just playing and singing. That was always easy for me. That's natural to me. But nothing in leadership and just worship ministry came super easy. It always felt like a growing pain. Visioning, measuring, and then growing a little bit. Visioning bigger, measuring, and then growing a little bit more, and then visioning bigger and growing. It happens that way with budgets as well. I mean, sometimes you have a bigger vision than you have a budget. And I would say that's probably most worship leaders. In fact, I mean, I don't know of any worship leader that I've ever met or church I ever pastored in where they came in and said, look, the budget is unlimited. Whatever you want to do, you just fill out the paperwork and we're going to do it. Even in some of the churches that I worked who had quite a bit of money, there were still restrictions and time limits. And actually, the pastor wanted to know, well, why do you want $5,000 for a new monitor system? Why? What is that going to do? And how is that going to long term? I mean, maybe he has to go to the board and say, hey, our worship leader is new, but he wants $6,000 for a new, I remember back, 15 years ago, I wanted over $5,000 for an Aviom system. So, it was important. But they were like, well, what's that? So having a vision, sharing a vision, measuring how you're growing, and then going around in a circle. That's what I call the God-inspired circle. This is going to be part of Foundations for Worship Leadership. It is available on Worship the King, worshipbandbuilder.com/leadership. The link is in this description. And I want you to join me there. There's going to be a special pre-enrollment price for you. So if you're doing this before the fact, it's like the beta group. We're going to go through this together live. One benefit of you getting in early is we're going through this live starting in October and going every week for 9 weeks. So hopefully it's not, it could be longer. I mean, I could get a little crazy in there and it could go 12 weeks. It won't change any of your enrollment fees or anything, but we're going to go 9 solid weeks. If you have any questions about this, let me know. And I'd love for you to join me. Just click on worshipbandbuilder.com/leadership. And also, you can send me a message through Drift, through the little drop down. If you go on the website up here and you click on this little drop down menu, you can actually just type me a message. And one of you guys sent me a message the other day and said, "Can you stop sending me this message? Can this stop popping up every time on the website?" I'm like, well, I'm going to make this probably just go on to the contact page or something like that, or make it only pop up one time, because I do know that this pops up like on every page. So also make sure you check out the podcasts. And as well, I'm going to give you guys just one more thing. If you want to join this, it'd be amazing to join this. Also, if you'd like to become a partner with Worship the King, go to worshiptheking.com/partner. You can donate any amount, monthly, weekly, one time, everything, every little bit helps. God bless you guys. I want to pray over your church over this 9 weeks. I want to talk to you, engage with you, and this will be sort of all of the many, many years of trial and error and building and all of the envisioning and measuring and growing that I've done in ministry and how I've actually done it. I'm going to open up the books. I'm going to open up the charts, and I'm going to give you all of this. This comes from a very awesome thing that I taught years ago called Propel Leadership, but this is going to be all new on the Worship Band Builder platform. Join me there. I would love to see you there. If you have any questions,